Welcome all you Pisceans, welcome to your general horoscope for March 2014. For some of you, happy birthday, and welcome to your horoscope with me, Veerle. And let's have a look straight away. Let's have a look straight away what's happening in March. It's a funny month, I think, because there are two planets going forwards again and two planets going backwards. So we are still this month in mixed energies, and in energies a bit of a, how do you call that, a core dancer or a ballet dancer who's doing his first tournées, pirouette, and who has to focus really very well, but making sure that he doesn't go too much to the left or too much to the right. This is the Mars in Libra I'm trying to describe here. Now, what is very interesting for you, first of all, Mercury and Jupiter go forwards from the beginning of the month. The first of the month, I think around the first, Mercury goes direct again, and the 7th of the month, Jupiter, your ruler, going forward again. Now, what does that mean? It is important because these are the rulers of your 1st to the 7th axis. These are your key areas of your life. It means that you're going forward again, but also relationships go forward again. And first of all, Jupiter going forward again in your 5th house does mean that you have been taking a step backwards when it considers, in mostly general, your creativity, and you have find more understanding now of what it is that is reasonable and what it is that is really interesting for you, how to express yourself. In other words, you have changed the way you express yourself. There is a change there. And you have the feeling now that you're going forwards again, because it's in Cancer, this Jupiter. It's a very strong Jupiter. So you should feel in a better position, in a stronger position, that is, and in a very much of a hard position, which is actually already quite Piscean-like, I think. Because I think most Pisceans do really live from the heart. And so Mercury is in your sign as well, especially as from, I think, the 17th. Yes, Mercury goes direct again, so the communication goes better, or should go better than ever before, because it's in your sign, in your 1st house, and especially after 3 degrees, because that will be around the 21st. So Mercury passes its shadow point there. And that means that things become very clear to you, and also in according to your relationships that you have. And especially the relationship that is important for you. So there is a bigger understanding. You understand yourself way bigger now, because there has been a rethinking for you as well, considering your 12th house, or considering your blind spots. So it's really now a time of, okay, a couple of blind spots, even when you're 70, a couple of blind spots have become clear for you. So you know yourself better as well. So this is all very, very positive for the Piscean, and that goes on through the whole of March. Now, so this goes on with your creative expression, if you have got kids, the contact between your kids becomes better. You are feeling way more open, not restricted at all, to show who you really are, to show your own uniqueness. This is all very positive. Now, what is going backwards? Saturn is going backwards, and Mars is going backwards. And Saturn is the planet of structure, and that wants to define the structure. And that's in your 9th house. And Mars goes backward in your 8th house. Now, what does this all mean? Now, Saturn going backwards in your 9th house is all about you taking a bit of a step aside when it considers your belief systems, what you believe in, your philosophy, your the connection that you feel with the divine, with higher spirit, with God, with Allah, with the universe and all of that. And it means Saturn wants to structure. So Saturn is saying, okay, what you did here during this time, you've done a bit of work already. You know, Saturn has been there for quite a while, almost a year, or a bit longer. But now it is saying, I'm not satisfied yet. You should ponder a little bit more about your belief system. You should work a little bit harder on structuring it and maybe changing it here and there. So that is what Saturn does. So for people who work with foreign people who work maybe doing business, for people who work abroad, for people who travel a lot, for people who do higher study, higher education, for people who teach, it becomes a bit of a pause there, a bit of a stepping aside, because things slow down. You need to slow down. And the reason why you need to slow down is not that Saturn is playing a hard time for you, but it means that, especially last month and the last couple of months, you did a lot of accumulation of knowledge, because the 9th house is knowledge. And now the information was so much that you need to structure things a bit better and make it more solid. That's what Saturn is doing in your 9th house. It's not, I don't see Saturn in the 9th house as a bad position. Just make sure that, you know, your belief systems may not turn into dogmas. That's the general thing. So stay open-minded, but take your own beliefs a bit of a critical position there. That is really good for you now. And the most important thing, I think, for everyone of us is this Mars. This Mars going retrograde, which only happens once every 2 years. So it was there 2 years ago in Virgo and now in Libra. And that goes on as from the 2nd. So the whole month, up until May, I believe, there will be a retrograde. So also a stepping aside when it comes to your actions, because Mars is where we put our action, where we put our energy, it's our desire nature, and it goes backwards. So what does it mean? In general, this is in Libra. So Mars is having a difficult time in Libra. Especially in traditional astrology, they say it's in its detriment. And the reason why it's in its detriment is Mars wants to go forward, it's the ruler of Aries, it's the ruler of Scorpio. And Libra thinks, wait a minute, wait a minute. You should look at the left side, the right side, you should look a bit everywhere, you should balance things out. This is what Libra is doing, and it will annoy Mars. So we, especially in the beginning of the month, we will feel this annoying energy, this bit of frustrating energy, but it's there for a reason. It reflects that we need to step aside when it comes to our actions as well. It means that we've maybe have been doing a lot, you know, being very active lately, but now we have to think and rethink, maybe correct or make things a bit better when it considers the way that we act. That's general. Now for the Piscean, what does it mean? It's in the house of transformation. It's in the house of the Scorpio. It's in the house of life and death. It's in the house of fears. It's in the house of life after that. It's in a very mystique house, you could say. So a lot of you Pisceans will become more introvert when it comes to their actions. Now, is this a bad thing or a good thing? It's how you look at it. The main thing is, it can be a bad thing, of course, everything can be bad, but it can become a good thing if you know what you're doing and if you know why this energy is there. Why is this Mars turning more introvert? It's like yang energy becoming a bit more yin, because it needs to reflect and it needs to be strategic. So when it comes to those areas of shared resources as well, shared finances, life and death, as I said, the things that we fear, the things that we want to break through, the taboos in our life, if we want to change that, we don't have to blast forward. That is what the planets are saying. The planets are saying be strategic, be a Mars retrograde. A Mars retrograde You can look at it upon various ways. You can say it's a bad thing, but the good thing about it is if you go with the energy of the strategic pose, a bit like almost Scorpio, you know, doing exactly what you're doing and doing why you are doing it and investigating the nature of your desire. If you do that, Piscean, you will, when it comes to May and onwards, you will really go forwards. You will really blast forwards then. So you really have to be a bit like this court dancer and really try to be diplomatic, but also go for your own will, which is very difficult to do, especially if you have a bit of, if you have some fire planets in your chart. But I think mostly Pisceans are quite diplomatic and their ego is not that big. Of course, some Pisceans can have big egos, but it's, it has to do with other signs, I think. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, if you do the things that you want to accomplish, so this Mars in the 8th house is all about desires. It's also the desire for more intimacy in your life, but it's also the desire of not compromising all the time. So maybe you have been compromising too much, and or maybe it's the other way. Maybe you have stepped on the toes of the people that you love because you stepped on their values. So there has been lately a clash, I think, for many Pisceans between value systems of yourself and value system of the person that you are with, if you are in a relationship. And that can really clash. And now you step forwards. It can mean, on a very mundane level, discussions about money. Or about who's going to pay the rent or something like that. You know, it can be as easy as that or as mundane as that. But it has to do with, you have to stand up for yourself in a good martial way. But a good martial way is now in the diplomatic way. So not giving in too much, but also trying to accomplish what you want. And this is of course, even in my explanation, it's kind of hard to explain what it is. So this is this ballet dance. I think that, I'm not quite sure, it's not in that sign, but I think that the ballet dancer Baryshnikov, Mikhail Baryshnikov, the Russian ballet dancer, had Mars in the 8th house in its natal chart. So this is all about this really knowing what you want, but doing it in a very charming way. So be charmful during the month of, and you will gain what you want. So don't manipulate, but be charmful, listen to what other people have to say, but also say what you want to say and what you want. And then you will be fine. So it's a bit of a challenge there, but I think you Pisceans will do well, because you Pisceans, you can do that. You can be, you know, in a very nice way, say, Venus is exalted in Pisces, so you can, in a very nice way, say what you want and achieve what you want at the same time. It's that balance between the feminine and the masculine, which is very important now with this Mars in Libra. So, whatever it is that you want to change on a kind of a drastic level, because it's about a bit dying here, because the 8th house is the house of death. So parts of you are dying at the moment, and but there is new life again, and you will feel fresh and well, I hope, around May. So thank you for listening, you Pisceans. Wishing you all the best with that that very interesting month of March. Happy birthday again, and if you want a consultation, please click the link below if you like. Thank you very much, and see you next month. Bye bye.